it's Kelly with Kellyscards.ca, and I'm glad you could join me for this make a card video. I was making this card and I thought, why not film kind of the rest of it being put together? So I took this embossing folder here, and it says it's bringing crafts to, I think this is a Do Craft embossing folder. If I can find out which one it is, I will link it down below. But I took this and then I embossed this with some white cardstock. Then I took these pens. These are just the clean color real brushes and a different couple colors. So this one is lemon yellow and this one is turquoise green. And what I did was I just started to color on top of the embossing, and I did pretty much the flourishes in the yellow and then the little flowers in the green. I was going to do the butterfly, but then I kind of didn't like the look of it. So I finished off this piece and I wanted to incorporate more of this color cardstock. So I made another matte base to put this on, and then I thought it still needs something, so I've decided I'm going to back it onto another piece, and this will be the white card base. And I just like how it pulls that color out. And I started thinking I really did not like this butterfly here, so I took a piece of this same cardstock and I used this Wavy Scallop Stitches die from Simon Says Stamp. Love these dies. I love that you get 3 different sizes. I love the stitching on it. And I made this piece here. Then I wanted to add a sentiment, and I thought, well, I really like this stamp set here by Jellibean Soup, and it's got You Are My Sunshine. So then I took this piece and I used this Jellibean stamp set to stamp on top of this cardstock that I had die cut. So now I've got this piece and I'm just going to start putting this together. I really like the idea of coloring onto the embossing. I think this really adds a really nice kind of look to the card, because you can not only feel the embossed, but you can now see it colorized, just to add a little bit more interest on the card. So I'm going to put this together like so, and really like the other color being able to help pull from the white, because there's so much white on here. This really helps pull this color. And then again, I will back the whole thing with onto a white card base, which will help this color pop out. And basically all I've done is, this piece is your typical A2 size, so it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then this piece here I cut down 1/4 less, so then this one was only 4 by 5 1/4, and then this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. So now that layer is really nice, and we're going to layer this up on top. So we'll put that on. And now this piece I've decided to go over top. I really did not like this butterfly. I just felt like, what could I do? I could put a sentiment on here, but then if I layered flowers on it, it wouldn't look right. So this piece really helps to just change up a little bit what's going on the card, but still keep the same color. And then I can build upon it like I've done with the sentiment. And I'm just going to make sure that this is right on top of this other piece. And now that is on there. And then I would like to embellish up here. So to add a little bit more of embellishment, I'm going to pull out some of my flowers. This one seems maybe a little bit too big. And this color here is a little bit too orange. This flower is nice. It's a little bit small, but I have this one here, and maybe if I layer this up, maybe that's a little bit too big, but I have a smaller version of this flower, so let's see how this looks. And I really like how that looks. So I just keep all my flowers in this bag. I do have a video on this, and I will link that below so you can see that video. So I picked out this little brad that will match the color, and I'm just going to thread it through this flower. I'm just going to use this little brad. I don't want to use a bigger one, and I really like how that looks there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here so you can see this. I kind of don't like that this color is so different than this one, so I'm just going to take my ZIG water brush here and I'm just going to add a little bit on the edge of these flowers just to add this little bit more of this yellow tint. It will just brighten up this flower and help it match a little bit better. And I usually do this with Copics, but because I use this particular color of this ZIG clean marker, I've decided I'm going to just use this one because it'll match just a little bit better. And you can already see the difference on this between the different petals that I haven't done and the ones that I have done. And I just think it's going to help match a little bit better. So now when we put this on, it's a little bit closer than what it was. And to attach this, I'm going to use my hot glue gun so this will stay adhered. So while I wait for the hot glue gun to warm up, I just really like doing this. Something very plain on the bottom, having a little bit of decoration. Love the flowers because they add an element of dimension on this card. And again, anything with white embossed really looks good, especially when you've got a fair amount of white in the card. So really love that and love the details of this die. Look at that stitching with the scallops. I picked out one of these teal sequins and a little yellow one from these Doodlebug Bumblebee sequins. Really love this. Had a really hard time finding yellow sequins, so I was so happy to find that. And then this teeny tiny little sequin. And I'm going to bring the flower in to try to figure out placement, and then we'll put these down while we wait for the hot glue gun to dry. So after doing some moving around, I like where they are now, and I'm going to bring in some of this multi-matte medium. And again, I'm just going to use my finger to pick up the sequin and put a little glue down. And then I'm going to come in with my tool here just to help press it in. I really love these tools. Tim Holtz makes one which I showed in a recent haul, and this just pulls off like this, and it's the same type of idea. Really like these tools when it comes to putting sequins on and obviously die cutting and that type of thing. So now I'm going to do this little teal one here. And again, I'll bring the tool in just to help apply some pressure. And now this teeny tiny one. These ones are always a little bit more difficult to get on because they are so little, but I just want to put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to really need my tool to help me put this into place. And because this is so little, it's very hard to apply pressure evenly. As you can see, even picking it up with the tool is difficult. So what I like to do is I like to take an acrylic block or something flat and heavy and place it right on the card so that it pushes it down right into the glue, and I'll leave this for about 5 to 10 minutes to help it kind of dry and adhere as well as it can. Now I can take this off and they will be adhered nice on there, and the last part is to add the flower. So now I can add this hot glue to the back here. There, that finishes off the card. I hope you really enjoyed this card. Again, really love some of the techniques in this card by embossing the paper and then coloring on top and using the colors to match, adding a few little elements and some die cut elements, and of course the white embossed sentiment. So thank you so much for joining me for this Make a Card video. You can check me out on my website at Kellyscards.ca. You can subscribe for more videos, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.